How's it going, everyone? I'm back once again with another build. This time it's a bit of an interesting one for Amara. It's not the best, but it is quite fun. I decided that, you know, there's a lot of elements in this game. Why only do one of them at a time? So I've spec out my Amara to do as many different elements at the same time as I could. Of course, it's not fully optimized quite yet. There's still, if I really wanted to get crazy with this, I could go for more anointed gear with the plus 50 whatever damage on action still end. That would be quite nice, especially for cryo, because I don't really have anything doing too much cryo damage right now aside from my grenade, which I don't use as much as I should, because I play Zane a majority of the time, so I'm not used to throwing grenades. But these are the modifiers I'm on right now. It's nothing that should affect it too much, I don't think. I've been unable to figure out if this elemental resist applies to, if it means enemies are more resistant to elemental damage, or if I'm less resistant to elemental damage. Because it's kind of unclear here, and trying to clarify at the Mayhem station thing, it seems like whatever. I've got a bunch of stuff in my inventory that I've been playing around with a bit, and also just various drops that I got. But these are really the only guns I use. These are all the multi-element guns that I could find for this build, and they're quite nice. I mean, the Hell Shot isn't exactly multi-element, but I do love this gun. So the Tsunami, this does, I think it does corrosive, non-elemental, and shock. I don't know if it does fire, though. I thought it did, but I haven't been seeing it do fire recently. So I don't know what's up there. The Hell Shock, Shock and Fire, it's really only does one element. However, if you, for those of you that don't know, if you shoot it, it bounces, and on the bounce, it changes element. And then we have the Nemesis, which does Shock and Fire, and the Alchemist, which does Shock and Fire. This one has that anointment I was talking about with the 50% additional damage, but it's incendiary damage, so it's already doing incendiary damage, so it doesn't really add on to the effect of this build. The Alchemist, another anointment, but it doesn't really matter on this one. This is a nice Alchemist, though. It's one that I'll definitely be using on my Moes, but it's staying here until I get another one. Another anointed one doesn't really change much for that. And then to get the radiation out there, I've got the red suit, so I'm dealing radiation damage when I get close to enemies. It does the knockback and all that fun stuff. The Hex, Cryo Hex, to do the cryo damage. This I'll get to a bit more in a second. And this I've been swapping around a bit. Elemental Projector, it's nice to have. It ends up proccing quite a bit, because pretty much any time I get an element affected on me, I'm doing 90% damage with whatever element I'm doing, because I'm doing every element at once. So it's quite nice. And then we have the, whenever you melee an enemy, it deals 69% elemental damage, and it's a random element every 5 seconds. This, I've swapped around with this. I was using this at first, doing the first draft of this build, and I found myself not slamming. There wasn't a lot of slamming going on, and it's pretty much just because I'm not used to doing it late game. And I also found there's not a lot of opportunity to do it mid-fight, unless you're like jumping down from an area or something. Because unlike the pre-sequel, you can't just jump up and then slam back down anytime. You kind of need to get a bit more space than that. So I switched that out with this, and then I rebuilt my skills to be a little bit more melee focused. So it's not completely melee focused. It wasn't melee focused originally, but I ended up going down the melee tree to make use of this relic a bit. I kind of still don't use it all that much, but I wanted the opportunity there, and also because in her melee tree she gets a little bit more tanky, which I found was a bit of a problem at first. Was I was going down a lot and it was kind of hard to get back up. So that's what we have Clarity and Samsara and Helping Hands for, is just to tank up. Pushing Space, of course, is really good stuff for Amara. Damaging higher when you get close to enemies, which has pretty good synergy with grasping enemies, because you can just get right up in their face and they can't back away. Finds you center to get melee damage to actually make sure melee is still viable. I have 2 points in this from just the class mod, which I had a few points in here before, but I don't know. This tree, it can work well for this build, but I find for the most part it's kind of for what I need, at least here. And then in this tree, this is where a majority of my stuff is. Anima, of course, great still. You get the status effect damage, status effect chance. Of course, we're doing a lot of statuses and elemental damages, so that's like a must. Infusion, this is again to be doing all the elements, so I have my Amara set to corrosive at all times, because I'm already doing every other damage, so I was like, you know what, I might as well set it to corrosive, get that out there too, even though there's not a lot of corrosive enemies in the game right now. I feel like this build is actually going to have a place when the November DLC happens, because I get the feeling there's going to be quite a lot of corrosive need there. Wildfire to spread the damage. This, I don't think this is really needed. I could very well get away with not having it and spending these points elsewhere. But I like it, because I mean, again, I am doing a lot of elemental damage. I have bonuses to the statuses. So I think Wildfire is nice to have. Again, Illuminated Fist, getting more melee damage, and then also now doing even more elemental with my melee. Tempest, another important one, increasing elemental damage. Catharsis, this one's, again, probably not one I need, but might as well take it. Conflict, this is a good one. It has a chance to add an extra effect, doing even more damage, even more elemental damage, random elemental damage, sustainment. I might end up taking a point out of here, or here, and putting it in here, because, again, it is, I find I still do go down a fair bit, and then Forceful Expression, again, just element, actually, hold on, this is fucking useless. Is it? It says bonus elemental damage based on your action skill element. So is that still doing bonus damage? Is that increasing my action skill elemental damage? Or is it only increasing the element itself outside of my action skill? That's something I feel like I might need to test. So, I mean, actually, you know what? I suppose Infusion will help. That'll boost Infusion for sure. Someone's messaging me. I need to put my phone on silent. That's something I might want to test out. So, I'll look into that. Might post an update video later, but yeah, that's about it for stills. For my action still, of course, I use the Blight Tiger for corrosive damage, and then I use Fist over Matter because it looks badass as fuck, and it's also pretty good at getting that element out there, especially with a lure. Then you can just pull everything towards the fist, and it pounds away, and it's a fun time all around. So we're going to start out with the Nemesis. I really like this gun, and see how this goes. Ooh. Love not being able to see. No. Now, I know the Alchemist does have a bit of self-damage on it, but I find it honestly isn't all that much to really care about. Because, yeah. I mean, my shield kind of... it goes up and down quite a bit. So... I find the Alchemist doesn't really bring it down any faster than it already would have gone down. Oh, a legendary. See what that is in a second. Of course, if you're going to use the Alchemist, a lot of the time you want to use the Transformer with it. But I find it isn't exactly needed. Now, the Hell Shock is quite nice because on shielded enemies, you take out the shield and then you just start shooting the ground, and the ricochet is really easy to control. Is that? That's another Nemesis. Alright, not bad. I'll take that. Great, keep that on this build. Sadly, it's not an anointed, but it's still nice to have. But yeah, the Hell Shock it's very easy to control. It's not too hard to line up a crit even, especially with grasping enemies. So I find the Hell Shock to be quite a nice gun. The Nemesis, of course, is really good, and I don't really see enough people talking about it. I think it's one that definitely shouldn't go unnoticed. Yeah, so on nods you can really see how this build shines. Or not specifically nods, but just any enemies with that level of armor and then the shield as well. They go down pretty quick. Oh. Oh, it's a bad spot. I forgot it's homing. I didn't want that to go to him. I tried to get it up there. That's where I wanted it. This guy's taking a bit. Great, because that, gross resistance. There we go. Okay, well. I haven't used the tsunami yet. Let's get on that. And I find the tsunami ends up being one of the, weakest in the arsenal. Although, that's not to say it doesn't still get work done. As you can see there. Where'd that nod go? That nod just kind of disappeared. It is one that's definitely better against the bigger enemies. And see what I mean? You do go down a lot. It is pretty easy to get up, though. I think you could definitely... because Amara can get really tanky. When you aren't just fucking around with fun builds. That's the biggest takeaway with this. Do keep in mind, this build isn't. It's not the greatest ever. It's not gonna be a meta build by any means, but it's a fun build, and I think a lot of people don't really play this game for fun enough. I mean, of course, everyone has a different definition of fun, but I have seen a lot of sort of bashing almost in the community for people that make builds that aren't the greatest. Which is, it can be a little bothersome to read that sort of stuff. I actually got my alchemist from over here just while I was running this area last night. This chest right here I got my alchemist from. Let's see if we get anything good. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just, people need to keep in mind that it's a game. Everyone has their own definition of fun, and not to bash people on that, I suppose. But it's the internet. Everyone has an opinion on everything. Yeah, see, that just... Those armored enemies, they just go down. Now, well, this isn't the greatest build ever, and by no means going to be a meta build. That by no means means that it isn't good. I say as I go down and I'm struggling to get up. Where's that nod? There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Can I get up? Can I get up? Oh, it's... Ah! I think I killed him, though. Damn, that was close. But yeah, it does get work done. It's not the best at mobbing. There's quite a few bosses where it can take a little bit, but there's also a few bosses that you can just kind of demolish. Like, they go down super fast with it, so it's pretty interesting. I feel like there's potential here. This isn't totally optimized yet. This is a build that I've spent probably less than an hour total on. It just kind of really came together. The first draft of it wasn't the greatest, and I kind of went straight back to the drawing board with that, but then my second draft of it, I saw potential in that first draft, so I kept with it. This is my second run with it, or go at trying to get it to work, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's doing what I wanted it to do. It's allowing me to not have to swap between weapons to do different elements. I mean, really, I could just make this a nemesis only. Oh, I don't... Wait. This is bothering... There we go. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure this save is far enough in the story where I should be able to do that. There we go. See, just getting those good hits with the health shot. It's good. Is that a, might be a fearmonger? Oh, there's the nemesis. There we go. Did we just launch a reaction to space? I think so. Oh, there he is. What is that? Oh, it's a baby maker. Interesting. It's pretty good. Let's find that crit. Or not. If there's any other multi-element guns that y'all think I should know about, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to find some more things to try out in this. Because I can't think of any right off the bat that I know of. I mean, I've seen most of the legendaries in this game, however, I haven't played around with a lot of them yet, so I don't exactly know what all of them do. It's just a few of... I've seen, like, every world drop already. For a while, it was every world drop, aside from the rerouter, but now I've gotten, like, 2 of those. Which, gosh, the new rerouter I got is incredible on my Zane, the Deputy Zane. Which, if you haven't seen that build video, that is also on my channel. I would recommend giving it a watch. Actually, you know, there isn't really a point in going over there, seeing as, do I want to take this to Tron? I don't know if I want to take this to Tron. Let's do it. Let's see how it goes. I haven't tried fighting Tron with this yet. He's one that gonna be a wild card on this. I think I might be able to take him out decently. I think actually the Tsunami's gonna be what does work on him. Either the Tsunami or the Hell Shock, assuming I keep enough ammo in there. I might switch over to the Alchemist mainly for a bit, just so I can preserve some ammo. Oh, that's a wall. Did I phase lock something? Okay, no. Not phase lock, excuse me, grasp. Oh, it's up there. Oh, golly. You don't want to die from that? Fine. Give you a little smack. Again, as I'm sure you've noticed, I'm not really making use of the melee too much. It's just, it's not that it doesn't work. It's just, I tend to forget about using it, even though my main Amara is melee. You'd think I'd be used to meleeing. But of course, this build does mostly shine with mobbing. You don't gotta spend the time swapping out between guns if you don't need to. Of course, the guns that I do use do have their use cases. So you can just swap out if one will work better in whatever situation you're in than another. But it's not necessary. And you get all those beautiful dark colors on your screen. That's the point of this build. Is why the hell not? I'm getting quite the run for legendaries. I would like to see if where I could get this to go, spending a bit more time really working on it and figuring things out. I think if I could replace the red code with a transfer, or not red code, the red suit with a transformer. Speaking of the red code, there's a build I'm working on that has to do with that shield. Maybe I'll post about that if I get that in a state where I'm happy with it. What's it? Oh, a Tutsman. Not bad. But yeah, the red suit. I mean, it's nice for the radiation. I do like being able to get up in enemies' faces, irradiate them, punch them around a little bit, and just have a good time. But the Alchemist and the Transformer is such a good combo. It's a shame to not be using it. Where's that low one? He's not happening, is he? Oh, there we go. I don't know. I mean, again, it isn't exactly a problem to not be using the Transformer with the Alchemist. The health it takes is so minuscule anyways. I can out-heal it, like, exponentially. But it would be nice to just get even tankier. Ooh, feeling that too. Jesus! What do you get? Fearmonger? Not bad. Oh, he's dead. Then I'm gonna start out with the house shot. See how that goes? This is getting to be a long video, so hopefully this doesn't take too long. Yeah, there we go. That's not the best, but it's doing some work. Let's try out the Alchemist. E. Ooh, that's not bad. But I'm thinking this is gonna be what shines. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Started to get those crits. Started to get behind them. Funny phase grasp them. That would be nice. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm sure the Alchemist will really do some good work. Spin. Ooh. We can get up off. Easy get up. There we go. And there we go. We get a legendary from just about everything in this map except Tron. But yeah, that's this build. It's a fun build, pretty good for mobbing. Not totally optimized, could use some work, better guns, better skill distribution, playing around with the gear that I'm using, but it's interesting, it's fun, and I'd suggest giving it a shot, just for the hell of it. If you got everything you need to do it, go ahead and have some fun, see if you can maybe even improve on it. Again, you know, it's not the best mayhem modifiers. I don't even know exactly how debuffed I was, if at all. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the hell basic bitch YouTubers say, but hope you guys enjoyed, and have a nice day.